It's in the chat. I'll go through it. I've got it all. Right, we are live for the very first time on Ring the Bell. This is podcast number 1. I am here with my co-host Nathan. How are you doing, Nathan?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
I am not bad, man. Just getting used to the hang of this Google Hangouts live stream business. Hopefully it all goes well. Right, the very first fight we're going to talk about on the show, and it is a goddamn good fight. Briedis versus Usyk. Did you see this?
I did. I was impressed with Usyk. I thought it was very, very close each round. There's nothing in it. Between each round.
Yeah, I agree, man. Close fight. I kind of a lot of people thought Usyk was going to win this easy. Perhaps he did. Perhaps he walked away with it at the end a little bit, but I felt each round was competitive. It was a close fight. Briedis showed a lot of heart, showed why he was champion. I would be very happy to see a rematch of that fight at the end of the tournament, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great fight. I've put Usyk as the favourite to win this whole thing now.
Sure, he has to be. Yeah, he has to be. His jab, his movement, he's very, very good for a cruiserweight. He doesn't really fight like a cruiserweight, does he?
He fights like a heavyweight. He could fight someone like Joseph Parker now.
Sure, probably.
He's that good. I just think, but Briedis is also a good fighter as well. You know, I mean, you've got to give him respect.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said coming into this fight that I think people were saying Usyk would win this easily. They weren't really looking at what Briedis had done or what he's about, and I think he showed a good account of himself in there, and he made his name bigger, not smaller, with a performance like that. So good on both of them. It's been a great tournament so far. I've been really pleased with pretty much every round. It's been great.
I mean, they ought to do more tournaments like this in the future, in my opinion.
Yeah, I hope and I think they will, because it's been somewhat of a success. The one thing I saw that people were complaining about, and I think it's worth touching on this, is it wasn't aired in America, which I think is crazy to have a fight of that magnitude, number 1 versus number 2 cruiserweight, and there was no TV channel showing it in America.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think that's crazy. So you had T Street controversy and a few other people like using a VPN to pretend that their IP address was in the UK so that they could buy the ITV pay-per-view. It's funny.
Crazy. As you know, I begrudge having to pay for some of these stuff.
Sure. Especially,
but that's a subject for another day. Yeah.
Sure, especially I think the way this tournament has fucked up a little bit, in my opinion, and it's simple, is they really should have saved pay-per-view for the semi-finals and the final. But because we had to pay pay-per-view for the quarterfinals, I think it makes it a bit more hard to swallow to keep paying for it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If they'd done like some free fights at the start, then we'd probably be less annoyed now.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
okay. Well, yeah. Sorry, we're so used to having you move stuff onto the next topic, but
yeah,
I'll do it. 2, Matisse versus Kiram. Now, I didn't actually see this whole fight. I just saw bits of it. I saw the stoppage. Good win for Matisse.
Sorry, carry on.
Well, no, that was... Yeah, you go. No, you go.
Basically, for the first round, Mathias was on the attack. Kiram was on the ropes a lot of the fight, hitting Matisse with lots of shots that a couple of the old Matisse would have either blocked or just punched straight through it. He looked very flat. He didn't look that great. And put it this way, if it had been the Matisse of 4 or 5 years ago, it would have been over in 2 or 3 rounds.
Right.
First, and when he got the knockdown in the 8th round, sorry, in the 7th round, he got the knockdown of him. He went down from a left punch, I believe. Then he went down. Then he threw a right, but the actual left punch knocked him down.
Right.
Right.
Sort of.
And then at the end, when he got, so when he got the knockout, Matisse hit him, and he had a delayed reaction. It was the longest delayed reaction I've ever seen. If you see the knockout again, you'll notice how delayed it was.
I'll go and rewatch it at some point, but I think I remember seeing that. Yeah, he sort of gets hit and then gets hit again, but goes down from the.
But then he throws a punch at the same time. But then he throws a punch as well, a day delayed, and he's like knocked out, and he throws a punch.
Those ones always look the funniest, don't they? Yeah, Matisse, I mean, if you're saying he didn't look good, I trust you on that. Obviously, when you put together a highlight package, you can always make somebody look good. In the highlights, he looked all right, looked like he was doing his thing, but took him 8 rounds to get Karam, like 7 rounds to get him down and sort of out of there. Then, yeah, it's not the Matisse of old. The next fight, now, this was an interesting fight. Linares versus Masito. Now, it wasn't that it was interesting in that it was a challenge for Linares. He really dominated this fight, but he looked good. He looked like he's got quite a bit left, and I think we might see him. I think this performance will make the fans scream out for the Lomachenko fight, I think.
I have to be honest, I didn't even get to see the fight.
I don't blame you. It's not thrilling stuff other than the fact that Linares looks very good in there. A bit left to be desired, but Linares looked good. He dominated. He was far too good for his opponent. People are going to keep screaming out for that Lomachenko fight, and I think we might get it.
I'd like to see it, but I know what the result's going to be.
Yeah, I personally agree. I think Linares is a bit shaky on the whiskers still, and I think Loma will test that too much.
I just think Loma's in a different league.
Sure.
People can shoot me down for that, but that's what I believe.
Well, I mean, the size difference would help Linares, but Linares is not a banger, so it's not like the size would help him much. So I would lean towards Lomachenko in that fight as well. The only guy chance against Lomachenko around that weight class is Mikey Garcia, because he take a shot, he's gonna stand there. He's not gonna run away.
Garcia is better than people give him credit for, I believe. I think he's one of the next superstars.
I agree.
No, he's so dangerous.
He doesn't do anything flashy, but he does everything right. And that's a dangerous fighter. It's a bit like who's the geezer James DeHale drew with
Caleb Truex.
No, that's who he lost to. The guy he drew with before that, Jack.
Badger Jack, yeah.
Yeah, he's a similar kind of fighter in that he doesn't do anything special, but he does everything well. And that's horrible because he can change style, he can mix it up, he can do everything.
Yeah, I mean, he's a decent fighter. I think in boxing, we're getting some good fights in 2018 already.
Yeah, it's
all made up and stuff.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's coming on from a very good 2017. We had some bad judging in 2017, but maybe 2018 can come make up for that easily.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, should be pretty good.
Yeah, man. So,
right, what?
This was one of the things that I wanted to look at and talk to you about. So, pay-per-view has been confirmed for Jürgen Brähmer versus Callum Smith, and the fee is $9.95, available on ITV Box Office, which has also made itself available on Sky and Virgin TV. Well, the response has not been good. Looking at the comments, people think it's absolutely ridiculous to charge for this fight. And do you know what? I have to agree. I don't think this is in any way a pay-per-view fight.
It's not, but because it's this Super 6 series, and I suppose it's occasional. It's a one-off, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's not like I think.
I guess Smith, so, but the tournament, there's no way Sky.
It wouldn't be, no. God,
no, they couldn't.
Just be on normal telly.
Right, it'd be on Sky Sports.
No one would buy it.
Fight night. Right, 100%. So good luck to ITV. I hope they make their money. I hope the World Boxing Super Series makes its money to do another tournament next year, but I don't think this is great business. I think this probably won't do that well on box office numbers.
Whoever wins this tournament will become a box office star, or should become a box office star.
For sure, no doubt, right? But the problem is, that's on the 24th of February, right? Pay-per-view. And we've got Groves and Eubank in February as well, don't we?
Yeah.
Right. So what one are people going to pay for more? Groves and Eubank.
They're going to pay for the Groves fight.
Every single day. I would, if I was in England and I could pay for the fights, I know which one I would see. Oh, it is. I'm just looking here, and it's $16.95 for the Groves Eubank fight. So it is a bit more money. Yeah.
Was that one on PS4 as well?
That is on PS4 as well. Yeah.
That's the one I was meant to send you.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's good to talk about them both. So $16.95. That's a lot of money. That's actually probably. It's still going to do well.
What's on the rest of the card?
That's the problem, isn't it? What else? That's the problem, isn't it? I can't imagine it being any good.
Let's have a look on the card. I mean, if you pull the card up, have a quick look. It might. You might see David Price on there.
Oh my God, fighting Povetkin in a rematch. Yeah, I'll have a look on BoxRec, but I don't think much of it's been announced yet. So we'll have a quick look. We can even.
I've got a laugh of the week for you.
Let's go for it whilst I'm looking.
Roy Jones Jr. has his final opponent. Roy Jones Jr. has his final opponent. A guy called Scott Sigmund, at the age of 49 years old, he's saying it's his last fight. I don't believe him. And it's for the mighty World Boxing Union heavyweight world cruiserweight title, the German version, for anyone that cares.
Wow.
His opponent.
So, that's rather wild and out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
His opponent, let's go for it. Let's hear this record.
His record is 30 wins, 11 losses, and 1 draw. And he's ranked 205 in BoxRec. And by the looks of it, he's actually a middleweight. He fought like a middleweight earlier this year. So this is he's going up from middleweight to cruiserweight.
Crazy.
And he is from Canada. He's 30 years old. Not from Canada. He's from the US. And he's fought nobody. In his last fight, let's see how low
right?
He's
I
lost
gotta be honest with you. There's some fighters, right, that for instance, I'm willing to talk about the Zeb Judah fight because he's only 40, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to get himself too badly hurt. We've seen boxers box at 40. But Roy Jones Jr. is approaching 50 now, or is he actually 50?
He's 49.
Right, so he's approaching 50. To save him from himself, I don't even want to give this fight any hype or attention because he's got to stop boxing now.
Definitely. He's at the age where
he's going to do himself serious long-term damage if he hasn't already. So
he already has.
Yeah,
you can hear it when he does the commentary.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's hard to watch someone fight on when you know they've already got some serious troubles with their brain and other things.
I mean, Sugar Ray Robinson did it. Anyway, we'll move.
Sure, and this is why we should try and is like certain fights. I'll give the credit. I'll allow them to fight on a little bit. Come on, Roy. You're gonna cause some serious bad news for the sport of boxing if you get yourself damaged any further. So I pulled up the card here for the Groves Eubank fight, and so far we've got Ryan Walsh versus Isaac Lowe, British featherweight title, and we've got Arfan Iqbal and Simon Vallily for the British cruiserweight title. Now they're not bad fights at all, but they're not quite they're going to need to add one more big fight to that card to make it £17 worth. In my opinion.
If they had someone like a Chisora versus a price on it, then to me that would kind of justify it.
Yeah, something like that. A good scrap. I've stopped sharing the screen, but I had the card up there for people to see. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting fight. I look forward to the Groves Eubank fight. We've spoke about it to death on your channel, Main Event Boxing, but I still lean towards George Groves. I know you're probably leaning the other way, right?
Yeah, only just.
Yeah, it's a close one. I'm not strong in my prediction. I just think, explain this, but I don't know if Eubank has improved enough at the art of boxing. Now, he's improved a lot in the art of fighting.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But I'm not sure if his boxing skills have improved enough to cope with what George Groves has from the outside.
The difference is Groves' power. That will make the difference. That will be the decider. Whoever, if Groves whacks him, it's over. There's no doubt about it.
It may be. Yeah, that is very possible.
But
I think you're correct.
I think you could say this fight would be like when Groves fought Froch. It could be similar to that. So Eubank might need to take a beating in order to get better the same way Groves did. And I think Eubank seems to improve with each defeat. So I think he'll have the same hard, that's it. That could be a way to do it.
Could be. Let's see. I think it's going to be a very interesting fight. I think what happens in the first 4 rounds is going to be essential. If Eubank can get on the inside early, rumble. But if Groves can dictate the range for the first 4 rounds, it's going to be Groves' fight. So we're gonna see. It's going to be a great fight. We've got some great boxing coming up. Stay tuned to Ring the Bell podcast. We're going to keep it here every week, live after the fights, bringing you all of the news that's coming up. And that's about all. You got anything more to add, Nathan?
Yeah, there's that card. We've got that card I've got in front of me. The Ted Cheeseman card, because it's all that next week. So we can talk about it if you want, or if you want to go, it's up to you.
Well, no, that's absolutely perfect. I've
got the card in front of me. Okay, I'll lead the way for you on this one. So Felix Cash is on the bill to be announced, Charlie Edwards to be announced, and Paul Butler to be announced. Reece Belotti's got a fight against Ben Jones for the Commonwealth featherweight title. Lawrence Oakley's obviously Oakley's fighting Chamberlain for the vacant WBA Continental Cruiserweight title. Cheeseman's fighting Carson Jones for the WBA International Superweight title. So this is a great card, I think.
Yeah, I've got it up on the screen for people to look at here. Carson Jones. That's an interesting fight for Ted Cheeseman, I picked Ted Cheeseman because of youth, and he's got it, and he's game, and he's ready for this fight. But Carson Jones has given trickier fights to tougher opposition than Ted Cheeseman, in my opinion. Yeah. So it's a tough one. Lawrence Oakley versus Isaac Chamberlain. What a banger. This is what British boxing needs. 2 young, hungry contenders from different, they've been brought up slightly different ways. One's an Olympian, one's done it the hard way. See who can really bang in this fight. And all over Isaac Chamberlain. I cannot see how Lawrence Oakley thinks he can win this fight.
I don't think he wants it. I don't think Lawrence Oakley really wants to be in there. I really don't. There's a part of me that thinks he doesn't want all this. I think Chamberlain's more hungry.
No, not yet.
Oakley doesn't have it, in my opinion.
I think so. No, I completely think so. I think Oakley is the perfect example of going to your head too fast. That whole sauce. The Penny Boys thing and the sauce and all that sort of little bit. And he really thinks he's going to walk into Isaac Chamberlain and just knock him out. And I don't see that. I see Oakley as far more fragile than Chamberlain.
Oh, yes. Chamberlain, remember, we're talking about a man that injured his shoulder and finished the fight.
separated it, didn't he? And then finished his fight with one
Yeah.
arm. I remember it. I remember it
You
very
know,
well.
To have that sort of heart, that's all tells me all I need to know in this fight.
You know what, though? Sorry, yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
Well, it's just I'm getting more and more excited the more I look at this card. So you got Nick Webb versus Dorian Darch. Now, that's not it's not a mega fight, but I really want to see what Nick Webb's got, and if he can beat Dorian Darch the same way,
better than.
Right, yeah, the same way others have, then it'll be interesting to see. And we've also got Danny Dingham, who's 4-0, versus Reese Pagan, who's 14-5. Now, if what I understand correctly about Reese Pagan is that he's mostly lost to undefeated guys. Yeah, he has. 3 times to guys who are Dixon, Lewis Scott, Tommy Philbin, LaRon Richards. So every time he's lost, it's been to good prospects. So I don't think this Reese Pagan guy's terrible. So I think this will be an interesting test for Danny Dingham. He's, Danny Dignam, sorry. Danny Dignam's not fought anyone yet. He fought a 0-3 guy for 1-8 and 5-49. This is his first guy with a winning record. So it is an it's an interesting fight in that sense. So Danny Dignam's an Essex lad, so got to shout out the Essex lads, isn't it?
Okay. There's another fight on this light heavyweight. Joshua Butsy is fighting Jordan Joseph. He's a good fighter, isn't he? This Butsy, I'm impressed with him. But obviously, you can only beat what's put in front of you.
He's looked good every step of the way, and it's nice to see him fighting a guy with a winning opponent as well. So, I mean, he actually, to be fair, the last guy he fought had a winning record as well. But it's just good to see him moving up in the ranks, slowly stepping forth.
Yeah, let's see what else there is on the bill. This is a sort of bill that would sell. If this was pay-per-view, this bill would actually sell. Over the
it would, but
if it was £5,
right, it would have to be a cheap one. This is just a proper British trade hall show. These are some of my favourite shows because you get to see British prospects moving up in the world. You get to see where they're going and how they're doing. So yeah, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, I have seen something that will make you laugh before we go, and that is Deontay Wilder has said he could beat Mike Tyson from 1986. Which he probably could. But it's a different time,
right? It's an irrelevant comparison because as I've always said, Mike Tyson from 1986 was a cruiserweight.
Too small. Yeah.
Oh, it's not even a fair comparison, but maybe because Wilder's huge, but I'd still make Tyson somewhat of a favourite in that fight. Anyway, everyone's kicking off around me, it seems, so we're going to have to leave it there. We'll have a new podcast up at probably the same time next week, and look out for some more new videos coming from this channel.
Okay, thanks, mate. I'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.